this feature match is just not worth looking at. Like, we don't need to do all that. It's just game one my my Charmy gets ashed and I get murdered because it's basically I have Charmy and Grifo. He has full combo, Ash and Fallen. So I pack it up because I'm not watching all that. I'm saving the time. There's no reason to play this out because the deck FTKs me. I have 3 cards left in hand. So, you know. And then I win game 2 going first because Elf Note's kind of bad going second. And then game 3 I have Perulia as my only non-engine. It gets ashed. And then because it's game 3, I have no reason to scoop early. Otherwise, I would have scooped early if it was game 1 or game 2. But it's game 3, so if I lose, I lose. It doesn't matter for me. So I'm watching the combo, but I know I lost already because I can't play through this shit. And then I draw a Fuba for turn, which is double frustrating because that would have been my first Perulia draw, and I die. You know, there's a Ecclesia in rotation, there's the Trap to negate a card, there's the Dragster to negate the card, there's a Crystal Wing to negate a card, and there was an Omega hand drip. So I have 4 cards in hand against 3 negates. Plus there's a Tinia hand loop I think that we can do, and Fallen into Virtuous and an Ecclesia into Alba. I'm not beating that with 4 cards. So, you know. There's literally nothing going on here. So yeah. Could have rolled a higher number, I guess. But this feature match was more interesting. We can take a look at this feature match if you guys want to.
Starting off with the all-important die roll as we get into the action. So Joshua's going to roll off first, and that is a strong 8. And following that up, Leonardo is going to be backing up with a stronger 10.
I wasted so many good rolls this weekend, man. There's so many dice rolls I lost with like 8 or 9, and they just rolled 10 or 11. It was kind of sad.
We have Light and Darkness Ritual from Joshua, and we have Cool Tune from Leonardo. Now, both of these decks have incredible levels of power. It's typically going to be a little bit more advantageous for Leonardo going first, but the Light and Darkness deck has a very, very good approach going second as well. But starting off with that Cool Tune Rotary, revealing the Cool Tune Rico in order to get an additional normal summon, and that is going to get access to the Rico, getting direct access to a Cool Tune monster that is not a level 3. And that is going to be the Cool Tune Mix.
And right now we can see that Rico has been summoned, and from Joshua's side I'm expecting to see his hand because his deck is not only Light and Darkness, but also he has some Brazen card in there in the form of Fallen of the White.
We're going to need you to explain the 5th recommended video right now. The Twilight one? I don't know. It's a German channel who usually... I don't watch them very often, but they make like documentaries about all kinds of stuff.
And I can tell that it is quite the trend right now in this European Championship that the players do not... But the Kuribo has been answered.
This is what I love about the new Grifo, is the fact that it can be used during either player's turn. He's making sure that his opponent doesn't get to see that outright. Chaining this as a quick effect, it does mean that the Mind Shuffle that has been set can be activated.
I spent some amount of time talking to people this weekend on when exactly you want to discard Grifo against Cool Tune, or just in general. Like, some people were saying like, let's just discard the Grifo immediately to get your card advantage. In this one, or you can hold it until the very end, but then they see that it's in your hand and they can prepare for it. They can potentially negate it with Zalen if they hold up a quick effect. In this game, I decided to do it here because I wanted to resolve it. I needed the extra cards, but I didn't want my opponent to pop it with Rico. So I waited for the Trackmaker to hit the field, but I wanted to use it before the Trackmaker resolves, because if I wait for the Trackmaker to resolve, they can search for Cool Tune Synchro, and then I activate Grifo, they can chain Cool Tune Synchro, summon Zalen, and then when I activate Mind Shuffle, they can negate it. That's why I did it here, in response to the Trackmaker.
This turn, so if Joshua wanted to, we might have the ability to, depending on what else the rest of the hand is, either get one of our light or dark ritual monsters into play. And we're going to reveal this now with a might. Ooh, okay.
The alternative is to shotgun it in their draw phase, But I didn't do that over the course of the weekend. I didn't want to shotgun it blind because there's a couple of matchups where you can actually activate it in the end phase pretty safely and you're going to keep your Mind Shuffle. Like, for example, in the mirror match, if you activate it immediately, your Mind Shuffle will probably just get banished for free. And I didn't want to do that. So that's why I did it here.
So we see Mind Shuffle, 2 Ragged Rights, and 1 Black Chaos. Not ideal, but not the worst by many means. Leonardo there just reading the Mind Shuffle to confirm what it does, as we do know that one of the set cards, or the set card that Joshua has, is going to be that Mind Shuffle.
Why do you believe that Joshua chose to...
We love drawing Mind Shuffle going second. Dude, I kid you not. This is not a joke. I drew Mind Shuffle going second this weekend more often than Fuwalos. I actually kept track of it. I drew Mind Shuffle going... Mind Shuffle was in my hand so often going second. It's actually insane. It is genuinely insane.
At the moment, meaning that
Such a frustrating design on the deck that you have to play like 2 of it, basically. Or you get fucked if you draw your 1 even harder.
To set the Mind Shuffle.
Yeah, I agree. It does seem a little bit interesting to do it as early. And just trying to figure out what type of plays we could possibly be seeing here, just doing it. Because even if your opponent sees the Grifo, you'd still react at the point where you feel that they could answer it directly.
I drew double Mind Shuffle going second 1 time. And I won that game just because my opponent was playing Blitzclick. Which, like, that was the one. I looked at my hand and I was like, I cannot beat any deck with this going second. Unless they're making an incredibly weak board. And then it was Blitzclick. And it was like Dugaris Pass or something. It was like, okay, thank you for that.
With the Mind Shuffle, we will have the ability to add. And I suppose it's quite important that we do this as early as possible, because if Mix does enter the graveyard, Mix will then be able to destroy the Mind Shuffle. Sorry, the Rico on that one. So it's actually quite important to get this the right way around on that one.
So we'll find shortly, I'm guessing, because Mind Shuffle has been activated. And we have changed Dual Synchro in response to add Rico and access
Above average Blitz end board, usually they just break. I mean, on the one hand, you're right. On the other hand, it was what they did in both games. they went Dugaris Pass in game 1 and game 2, so it seems to be the average.
RS.
Yeah, so I think this is where it's going to be quite important, because we've used Mind Shuffle as Chain Link 1. Chain Link 2 is going to be Cool Tune Synchro. We're going to work our way into the Zarlin, and then we've got the ability to resolve the Mind Shuffle. But the other added benefit to that one is that the Rico is probably now going to utilize the effect to destroy that Mind Shuffle. But Joshua will still get a bit of advantage off of the back of the summon, the Skull Archfiend of Chaos. As we've previously mentioned with the Light and Darkness deck, is that the Skull Archfiend of Chaos is going to allow us to send the Light and Darkness Ritual from our deck to the graveyard, and then get us direct access to either the Black Magician of Dark Chaos, or we're going to get the access to the Blackluster Soldier. So there's a
Was it Ryziel? No, it was Albaz. It was Albaz Blitzclick.
lot of options available for us.
So as you mentioned, Skull Archfiends will be activated right now. Zalen will be chained though, probably.
It does look like there is something more for Leonardo to use here. Is it possibly a second Cool Tune Synchro? Oh no, we're just going to be using JJ Cool Tunes. Okay.
Okay, anyways. This game, at this point, I had already written this game off because my hand is basically dead. I have double ragged Records of Rights. I have 1 Mind Shuffle and I have Black Chaos. And they are still about to manipulate my top deck with Q. So I have very, very few plays. Against Zalen Remix, I should be dead here like 99% of the time.
Everything we need to are another additional normal summon. We're going to be our Cool Tune Mix. This will again allow us to add any Cool Tune monster from the deck to the hand that is not a level 2, and this will then start opening up the door to get access to our remix. But the normal summon is going to be the Cool Tune Q, and getting access to the Cool Tune Q is going to give us the ability to get another tuner from the deck. A lot of tuners, and I actually really do like the way that the Cool Tune strategy works on this one, for the pure fact that they don't mind. They like the double tuners, because a lot of the monsters they want to go into are going to require double tuners, and I think it kind of narrows down the type of plays you want to make as well. So it gives you direct access of what you want to be going to, and it doesn't make it as accessible for all other
My favorite thing about Cool Tune that they can search Ash.
synchro monsters.
And I believe that Leonardo, since he has shown the Josh hand, Ash Blossom is definitely the hand up to search for right now, that he will later add to his hand with Remix.
I don't remember if they ended up having Ghost Bell in hand, but I don't think so. I think you can make an argument to search Bell here to stop my Light and Darkness Ritual from adding back 2 cards to my hand. It's going to be really hard for me to play the game if they do that. Because also, they don't know this, I guess. But for ragged Records of Rights, you have to reveal the field spell in hand or deck to search. So if the ritual spell's in my graveyard, I cannot do it.
Of the remix has been summoned in the field, and we see the Black Luster and the Harmonia.
Yeah.
And here, I don't have any other explanation other than they probably didn't know that the Black Chaos can shuffle back from hand. Because they give me BLS and banish Harmonia, which I think is crazy. They probably didn't know I could summon Black Chaos by shuffling from hand. There's no way they knew that and gave me that on purpose.
Can be kind of useful because it could respond to the remix or it could respond to the Zarland, but getting rid of it is quite important. It looks like we're just going to give direct access to the Black Luster Soldier, which is quite an interesting approach here. Another quite interesting thing to remember as well is that we've already seen the second Mind Shuffle in Joshua's hand, which isn't going to be accessible or be activated.
I mean, it's crazy because Black Chaos is the perfect card against this board. I have the ritual spell in graveyard already. Giving me the ritual monster to shuffle back is insane.
There's 3 copies inside Joshua's deck.
Would have put Black Luster Soldier into the bottom or not?
I think it's better to know exactly what your opponent's going to draw, because they will get Black Luster Soldier during their turn one way or another, definitely with the 2 Ragged Rights. But I suppose the one gamble that has been made here is that there is a Light and Darkness Ritual in the graveyard. We know Joshua had...
Always assume your opponent will misplay. I mean, that is, in my opinion, one of the better things about Cool Tune. Like, I don't really enjoy playing against Cool Tune, but at least if your opponents make misplays like this, the deck is going to fall apart relatively hard. I do think if this was a combo pile, I think my chances going second are a lot smaller, even if they mess up their combo at some point a little bit. So this is why I personally like playing more against Cool Tune than other combo decks. Because Cool Tune, like, they still have to play it properly, otherwise it's gonna fall apart really hard. And I had this a bunch of times where I played against a lot of Cool Tunes this weekend, and I won a lot of games going second because they just didn't really do it perfectly, and I would capitalize on small mistakes like that, and it just doesn't really happen that much against combo decks.
Black Chaos in hand, so giving him that early access of that ritual monster that could be shuffled back into the deck to get you your Black Chaos on the field, I actually think Joshua could be quite devastated now with this Black Chaos, because that enters the field of play, it becomes unaffected by the opponent's activated effects, and then it gets to non-target banish 2 cards the opponent controls, so that could ultimately end up getting rid of the monster that comes back with remix to the field and get rid of the Zarland, which I think is exactly what we're going to see here.
Speaking of the Black Chaos, but I believe that we can play around...
I mean, yeah, here the Black Chaos is summoned, and at this point he probably realizes that giving me the BLS was not that great. And then now everything falls apart now. Now we're just panicking.
Yeah, so we're going to see what...
Or even remix. We have not used the effect of remix yet.
Yeah, so you'd have to preemptively do this, because I feel that if you let the Black Chaos utilize its effect, then anything that hits the field does ultimately get banished. Another way that you could very easily play around the Black Chaos is if you make sure that you don't have 2 cards on your field, the Black Chaos won't be able to resolve to banish the other card remaining.
Yeah, there's still a completely guaranteed way to win here. You go remix, you synchro with Rotary, and then Rotary puts back the ritual spell to the bottom of the deck, which ruins my follow-up, my grind game as well. And then the Black Chaos is affected, so you can go like KTS, search mix, make like Loudness War, and then pop the Black Chaos or something like that. So it's not actually, it's still won. The game is still won.
Still has quite a lot, even though we know exactly what cards he is playing with right now.
Or even use Rico as a synchro material, because in this case, if Rico is used as a synchro material, he can target one spell trap. Oh no, yes, the spell trap. It is the mix, I believe, that destroys a monster, and that can play around. Yes, this is the case. We have summon RS, and now we can destroy with the mix the Black Chaos.
Yeah, but this is the one thing to remember, because we have that Light and Darkness Ritual spell in the graveyard, the Black Chaos is currently unaffected. It's actually very, very powerful. Yeah, so it is only the activated effect, so if there are any continuous effects that Leonardo could play here, but I feel that we're going to see Josh trying to remove as many threats on the field as possible, Zarland definitely being one of them, and then you'd probably try and get rid of the RS. And the big difference with the Black Chaos as well is it's not quite like the ritual monsters, where it's unaffected by cards except by targeting them. It's completely unaffected by all activate effects. So
thoughts on Dogmatica Thunderbolt overnighted? We thought about it on Friday, because I think Jesse played a Thunderbolt, but I just didn't want to play another trap card in the deck.
Again, it was a bit of a kind of risk and reward, knowing exactly what your opponent has, but facilitating the easy access to the Black Chaos could be...
So it would have been better to be on the bottom, right?
Yeah, it would have meant that...
You have Ash for the spell, and you just let them have a draw and whatever it is.
Yeah, I agree now, yeah. Hindsight is a powerful thing.
But this is the case with Yule. It is one of those decks that you cannot afford to lose knowledge. For example, you need to know every card, and this is the point of the deck, to not only know the card that they are in the hand, but also the card that it will be drawn from the draw phase. So it's quite risky sometimes to let your opponent just have a blind card in his hand.
Yeah, so now this is quite interesting because we've got the Light and Darkness Ritual back from the graveyard, meaning that the Black Chaos is currently affected by other card effects, but we're going to activate the Ragged Rites of Ritual, so the brand new search spell, and that's going to get met instantly with a Dominus Purge.
I mean, look, bro went first with Valor, Purge, and I think 2 engine cards. This was not supposed to be losing.
Very, very good purge there on for Leonardo, because that could have gained access to any monster dimensions Light and Darkness Ritual for Joshua. But we are going to use the summoned, the Skull Archfiend of Chaos, and this can now start to manipulate the graveyards and or banish zones if we do choose to. But one of them must be Mind Shuffle or a card that mentions Light and Darkness Ritual, which is what we're going to be seeing here. And then Josh needs to just decide on the other 2 targets that we wish to return to the deck and or extra deck on this particular scenario. Nice. Interesting. So we put back the Purge, and we're going to put back our own Harmonia.
Do you think TCG will kill Cool Tune post Worlds? When are we even expecting the next Battlist? Because last year, when did it happen last year? Did they do one before Worlds or after Worlds? I feel like, if I remember correctly, didn't they like announce it before Worlds, but it was in effect after Worlds or something like that? I don't remember.
Maybe we want to play around the second patch, maybe, or we want our opponent to have a dead draw in his deck in order to manipulate the statistics behind the potential draws from Leonardo.
Yeah, so Joshua's done really, really well here, because what we've done is we've recycled the access to the Griffo, but we also recycled that Mind Shuffle. As previously mentioned, having that second Mind Shuffle stuck in the hand was not very effective here, but we are going to get the Ash Blossom on that Mind Shuffle search, trying to stop access to either of the ritual monsters here. Joshua's going to pass the deck over to be cut, which kind of signifies that there will be no more searching, or possibly the next card will be a draw. But we know exactly what Joshua has, and we're probably going to need to save that Mind Shuffle for during our opponent's turn, and we're going to be drawing 4 turns for Leonardo and seeing what we could possibly do with this scenario.
But I think that Leonardo currently doesn't have a play except from the field, right?
On the actual field, correct, yeah. So, but that does turn any tuner into your deck, technically.
Into
anything, yeah. It looks like we probably drew a Cool Tune for turn as well, which is pretty good, remembering that JJ Cool Tune will give an additional normal summon. But this is where, without being able to stop this Mind Shuffle with either a Ghost Ogre or a Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Joshua will probably ultimately get access to a
Lackluster Soldier.
Yeah, Lackluster Soldier or a Dark Magician of Black Chaos here. And it does look like we're going to send another Skull Archfiend of Chaos. We're going to be sending the Light and Darkness Ritual, and that then in turn works our way into one of the 2 ritual monsters that can be very...
We've talked about Ryan winning NA a little bit, but we're still going to take a look at his deck profile later.
Very effective. As you've already mentioned, the Blackluster Soldier is probably going to be the most aggressive of this one, as that is the monster that does trigger its effect to banish on summon.
So right now we are passing priority back to Leonardo, and he has Mix. I believe it's not quite the one that you want in this scenario. It is a starter at this point, obviously.
I don't think it matters which Cool Tune you start with. You get all of them anyways.
Yeah.
And we get back the Q, I believe, if I saw correctly.
Yeah.
Additional normal with JJ.
This is one thing I find quite interesting about the Light and Darkness Ritual deck, is it has a lot of removal in its effects, but it doesn't have many, like the natural flow of the deck doesn't have many negations. So more times than not, a lot of the effects will be more...
Except from one hand card.
Except for one, yes.
You know what I'm talking about, and I really wanted to see it resolve in the stream.
I really wanted to see that one resolve. Maybe we still...
At this point, I still thought I was going to lose.
This is still only game number 1, but at this moment...
I still don't think this is a winning position.
As Leonardo tries to rebuild the field that...
I guess, actually, maybe it is a winning position, because if I live this turn, my follow-up is pretty strong, admittedly, but still.
In turn number 1 of this duel so far. Getting access to that track maker, we've got the Q, we do have access to another Zarlin if we play a multiples, and then we do also have the mix for another remix, and it's all about getting rid of that.
I didn't notice, but this guy played Dominus Purging Cool Tune. Yeah, that's pretty common. A lot of people are doing that.
By the activated effects of Leonardo's cards right now.
Dude, Cool Tune players are just desperate to stop the opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now, is the thing. Like, Cool Tune is just not great at breaking half boards, so people just reach the conclusion of like, bro, I need to stop my opponent from playing at any cost. And that's why they're playing Dominus cards, even in a deck where you can't use like half of your effects after.
Just deny access to RS. I don't see a way that, or at least an easy way for Cool Tune to deal with Black Chaos.
Yeah, completely agree on that one too. We've just utilized the effects of Trackmaker to return the Mind Shuffle to the hand, and then we've also used the effect of Mix here to destroy the Skull Archfiend of Chaos. Obviously no more effect on the Skull Archfiend of Chaos. I believe that's because there are no more Light and Darkness rituals in the deck to send, and then we're going to be synchroing. Oh, okay. What are we going to be working into here? So we're working into a B2B, yep. So Cool Tune B2B here. Very, very powerful one. This might be a way to try and deal with certain monsters on Joshua's field here.
This was illegal B2B, but doesn't really... Just make one track maker beforehand and then it's fine.
How we got
Yeah, they caught it. I didn't catch it, but they caught it. You just have to make a track maker beforehand, because you need a bunch of synchros, basically.
1+ synchro monster, so we could not access B2B like that. We need to synchro summon and later synchro summon again. Because we utilized Mix and Veiler.
Yeah.
Or Q and Veiler.
Q and Veiler, yeah.
Q and Veiler.
So here's the B2B, strong enough to deal with the Black Chaos. Then it gets to attack again, which gets us the first bit of damage to Joshua's life points here. Still have a decent amount of resource. We know that there is a Cool Tune Synchro that has been added by Leonardo. That is going to be possibly the one card set. We don't know the other card in hand, so it could be one or the other, but more times than not, you'd probably give an educated guess that that is going to be Cool Tune Synchro. Joshua is going to draw for turn here. First time of a card that Leonardo doesn't know what Joshua has, because on the previous one we were able to know exactly what card was being drawn. We still have a couple of graveyard effects as well, which is what we're doing here with the Light and Darkness Ritual, being it to add back the Griffo again for another way of getting access to possibly Mind Shuffle, but both may be in hand. This could be the Mind Shuffle set as well from the previous turn. If Joshua, I mean, I don't think it was worse.
I think it's Mind Shuffle, right?
Yeah,
there's no way something else. And I believe that he's debating if he's going to utilize it right now or wait.
Yeah.
I mean, here I just have to figure out a way to play into this B2B without activating too many monster effects before I can get rid of it. So I think what I'm trying to do is set up Black Chaos, probably.
I suppose you go for the Dark Magician of Dark Chaos, Black Chaos in order on this one, because not only will you be able to get the Light and Darkness Ritual back from the graveyard, but you'll also be able to then use the effect to try and banish a card.
Did you forget Q? Oh yeah, probably.
Celtic Mystic.
I didn't realize it in that moment, but yeah, you forgot to do Q, yeah.
Interesting choice on that one.
So I wonder the strategy behind that is just to try to outgrind the Leonardo. And another copy of Black Chaos has been summoned.
Yeah.
And given the fact that it does not...
I mean, yeah, bro just got soloed by Black Chaos. What am I supposed to say?
Just grab the Ash Blossom from the deck in order to also play around the Celtic... The Mythic Celtic.
Yeah. The Celtic Mystic.
Celtic Mystic.
Yeah, we're going to be very interesting here on that one. The Black Chaos, like I said previously, another way to try and play around it is if you don't have two cards on the field and you can still maintain one. But with the Cool Tune Synchro, there's not anything that the B2B can be used in order to clear off the field and reduce the amount of cards on your field. And that JJ Cool Tune still maintains itself as a...
How was bro 6-0 while forgetting to activate all the effects? I mean, you do, as usual, you do have to cut people on features some slack. It is significantly more stressful to play on features. So you do see more mistakes than what they would usually make.
And then an easy choice from Joshua.
Whenever you watch a feature, man.
The B2B and also, yeah. And
it's just how things go.
Yeah, absolutely fine on that one. I think Black Chaos was...
during the last minutes in his hand. And I want to see in action.
This was surprising to me because he made me go first after game 1, which I didn't expect. I sided in like all my Charmies, my Pot of Sloth, and I was a little lucky because I drew none of them in game 2.
Did he just put Josh first?
If the trap card is in Leonardo's hand that I think it is, then I think he did make Joshua go first, which is very, very surprising. But Joshua's going to be starting off with the first branded card of this duel so far, the Fallen of the White Dragon. This is going to be able to send the Albion from the extra deck to the graveyard. This card is such an incredible addition to the game. Like how it's enhanced branded in general as well is absolutely amazing.
So, generally speaking, I like the idea of going second.
And it actually mattered here because I do side out. When I'm expecting to go second, I side out a fair amount of the Albaz engine.
Because you can take your opponent off guard and potentially have him play into your field breakers that you might have side in. However,
Like I didn't have Farah. Did I keep Farah in? I don't think so. But I also don't have the Chaos Magical Hats to protect from Evenly, which is I think what he has in hand. He's got Evenly, and I don't have anything I can do against it. Because normally going first, I side in Magical Hats to have an answer to Evenly. But here I don't have it.
Quite ready to deal with any threat that may occur from Leonardo's side deck, meaning in the form of that he has such an experience that he can understand what cards will be sided in.
Yeah, exactly that. And we're now seeing the three champions of Sword Soul getting us access to a card that is starting to see a bit more increase in popularity currently right now, and that is Ecclesia the Virtuous. So Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, very, very good card here on this one. Allows you to get another layer of a bit more control here, and we've seen quite commonly that a lot of duelists are choosing to search out Fleur-Delis the Knighted. In this scenario, we're going to be getting access to the Fallen and the Virtuous, also a very, very powerful card for this current format.
And did we add Fleur-Delis?
No, so we added the Fallen and the Virtuous.
Fallen and the Virtuous, yeah. And as you see, Josh will try to end on a kind of minimalistic field.
Okay, this one's on me because I think right now my only Chaos card is the Archfiend. And at first I was gonna pass with this, but I think then I realized I can tribute summon the dude and then pop it. So this looks a little stupid because I'm setting my cards first, but then I realized like, oh yeah, I can tribute summon it and then pop it with Fallen. So now I just have I think one of my it's especially dumb because one of my sets is Called by the Grave. So like now I'm doing this, but I'm no longer protected by Called by the Grave, which is it's stupid.
To Skull Archfiend of Chaos. Absolutely shocking on that one. Not in a bad way, but like I didn't even expect that we would normal summon down the...
Isn't Ecclesia one of your going first cards? Do you side it for Cool Tune? Against Cool Tune, I sided it for going second, because against Cool Tune, I really like the... what's it called? The Harmonia send Luluva Lilith against Cool Tune.
Go Archfiend right here, but kind of shows the position that Joshua's in now.
The Sword Soul can pop it as well. Oh, can you target your own cards with the Sword Soul? I didn't know that. I guess that was just better than using the Fallen then. That's my bad. I didn't know that.
Put in the Rinbroom in the graveyard, and this is how we're going to get access to our Light and Darkness engine. Very well piloted.
So since
I mean, I wouldn't say very well piloted because I should not have set my cards beforehand. I realized it too late that I can do that. And also, I should have popped it with this if that's possible, not with this.
To go second flare release, it's not in his deck, maybe. However, I like this sequence because you can start things off with your Light and Darkness engine, and I believe that he, with the Rhythm also in the graveyard, can play around Evil Match, meaning that Fallen of the White is in the graveyard and can be brought up in Leonardo's turn. Do you believe that we still have Fallen of the Albas?
This also resulted in not having Harmonia targets. This one doesn't, but the one on their turn does, because I end up using the... This is also a mistake on their turn that I make, yeah. This game I played not well.
And I've seen some lists, but less so, that play 2 and 1. I still like the idea of playing 2 and 1 because Mirror Jade is such an incredibly powerful monster that can come from the extra deck. But I feel that the resources is very, very restricted here, and we're going to be going straight into the Dark Magician of Dark Magic, Dark Chaos, Black Chaos. A very, very good one to be going off with as well, and beautiful extended artwork in Starlight Rose. Joshua not even holding back on that one. Extra shine. So we're going to try and add back a spell card from the graveyard, possibly adding back the Fallen of the Virtuous on this one, a consideration for Josh to try and see. And one thing to remember about evenly matched as well, even if a monster is unaffected by your opponent's activated effect, if it is evenly matched, it actually applies that effect to the player. So it's a player's effect, it's not, so it'd be Joshua's effect on the Black Chaos rather than, you know, Leonardo, so it is not unaffected, unfortunately, in that scenario.
So regarding the 2 sets, we can assume that it is 2 Fallen, I believe, and 1 unknown, right?
So I think I'm still supposed to be fine here against Evenly, but the way I played it, I just like it's suboptimal.
The one that we had in the hand, and later we activated the Albion.
Correct, yeah. So we're now going to activate the Mind Shuffle here very, very early. I can assume that this is either during the draw phase or the standby phase of Leonardo's turn. And I guess this is going to be the way that you need to get as early access as possible to the Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Light and Darkness, so that you have that Mind Shuffle switching capabilities available to him.
Quite a bold move by Leonardo, but I really like how things going for him. And we have Ghost Ogre, but we choose not to activate it here because we have one of the cards that you have mentioned, I believe. And
What sleeves are you running? The extra deck ones are OCG sleeves from Fallen into Virtuous. Shoutouts to Young cards. If you want to pick those up, I think they have it in stock right now. You can use Josh10 for 10% off. !JUNG. I'm glad you asked. The other ones are World Championship 2023 Legendary Magician of Dark. So I think also technically OCG sleeves. But yeah, they're just OCG sleeves. Yeah.
Just in anticipation, because I can't imagine anyone pre-prepares for a card like that. You can instantly, like you said, a player of Joshua's level just want to see his reaction as his opponent goes, you know, end of main phase, moving into the battle phase, and if there is any kind of movement here.
Wait, I love the Fallen into Virtuous ones.
Many negations.
So I believe that we have entered battle phase, and Evenly Match has been activated. And I think right now just needs to take the decision for which cards to keep. So I believe that we can activate Fallen in the Virtues in order to get at least an Ecclesia to the graveyard for the next turn.
I agree. I think it's also very important to put the Mind Shuffle into the graveyard as well and not let it get banished, because obviously being banished face up.
So here's the thing, right? This evenly is a little bit annoying, but it's not that bad. Because ultimately I can just use Fallen to pop my own Dark Magician, so it's not banished face down. And I can just keep Mind Shuffle, and because I have Harmonia in hand, I can summon the Harmonia and then start bouncing again with the Mind Shuffle, so it's fine. The only problem is that what I'm doing next is I'm gonna use Fallen to pop my Dark Magician, and I'm sending a Synchro, which is bad because I only play 6 Synchros. Normally, this is where I would send the Rindbrum for my opponent's turn to have an extra interruption, but because I did the first turn so weird, the Rindbrum is already in the graveyard, so I'm like, I need nothing here. I need nothing, so let me just send the Ecclesia for next turn, which is not good because that's my 5th Synchro, so my Harmonia is going to be worse now, which is pretty bad.
Dark Chaos, Black Chaos, or whether you choose to keep the unknown set card, which will probably give Leonardo a little bit more to think about as well.
This should have probably just been like Titaniclat to make my opponent scared of end phase Albaz.
It is quite the spot to be right now, but yeah, Ecclesia has been sent to the graveyard, and we target the Magician of Black Chaos in order to be destroyed. And yet we keep the Mind Shuffle.
Interesting. I wonder if there's a card in the hand that Joshua can get to the field during Leonardo's turn that is going to be a level 7 or higher, because again, you can very highly imagine that with how easily accessible cards like Rico are in the Call Tune deck, that Mind Shuffle probably does not stay on the field for this entire turn.
He could also keep the Fallen.
Can you bounce with extra deck monsters? Unfortunately not. No, Mind Shuffle does not work, unfortunately, with extra deck monsters, and it also unfortunately does not work with face down monsters. Otherwise, I think if it worked with face down monsters, I think the Chaos Magical Hats would be completely insane in the deck. But it does not work with those, unfortunately.
He loses a lot of resources. For example, you cannot afford to lose the Magician of Black Chaos.
I think that's quite a good, well, a bad dilemma to have between Mind Shuffle and Black Chaos. I suppose only if it's between those two, you do get rid of the Mind Shuffle. But also, I do consider, I wonder if Joshua would have sided out a Mind Shuffle. If you're 100% guaranteed, you know you'll go in second.
The second copy.
Yeah, do you take out one of the copies? I know it's a very important card, but
going second, probably you side it out in any case, because you want only to have one copy in order for you not to break, and he was kind of forced to keep Mind Shuffle in the field.
So this is where it falls apart.
We are going to find shortly, I believe, and access to Rico in order to activate the third effect of Rico, or the second effect of Rico, in order to destroy the Mind Shuffle when it is utilized as synchro material.
Yeah, only 4. I only have 4 for Harmonia. It's pretty bad.
Harmonia. I believe it was.
Is it Harmonia?
Yeah, there. That makes so much sense.
To reveal for random synchro.
I saw 4 and this adds up, but this also makes sense why it was so important to keep the Mind Shuffle.
Because if I have 5 for Harmonia here, it ends up being a lot better for me, because basically if I have 5, I can pop Q and then Malong bounce mix, forcing my opponent to keep playing with Rotary in hand, basically, because they have no bodies on the field. And then what I can do, if they go Rotary in hand, I go Chain Mind Shuffle, return Harmonia to try and summon the Blackluster Soldier. They are probably forced to Ghost Ogre that, because otherwise I just banish their normal summon and they probably don't have a way to play. And then my Albaz resolves.
Face up, because the Harmonia is a monster that can be returned with Mind Shuffle. So this is actually going to be extra premium on this one, because not only will the Harmonia trade off with both the monsters in on Leonardo's field, but it will also then give us direct access to the Blackluster Soldier of Light and Darkness, which only could banish another card as well. So okay, so we didn't reveal. So if we don't reveal the 6, we're not going to get the.
Oh, this is also this one is also so here. Here they go for Synchro Overtake and they try to summon out another Rico, which is why there's another Judge call, because they have the last copy. They sided, because they played Dominus Purge, they sided down to 1 copy of Rico. And they have the only copy of Rico in hand. So revealing RS for Overtake is technically illegal, but it doesn't matter. They can just summon Mix instead, but still there's like a whole Judge call about it. That takes a moment. But then ultimately they can just summon a second Mix.
Been a Cool Tune Rico in the deck, which might explain why we've got the Cool Tune Mix entering the field of play here.
So I believe that we presented with Synchro Overtake, a Synchro monster in the extra deck that we didn't have a valid target for it, and this is why we had to rewind this game state. But I believe that right now we have 2 Mix on the field and the Rico, and I want to see how Leonardo is going to find a way to pilot through this, and of course with the Rotary.
Yeah, Mind Shuffle got ogred,
to summon,
I think.
The Cool Tune
Trackmaker.
Trackmaker, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to cause a bit of a chain here. So we're going to be going possibly Chainlink 1 Trackmaker from the looks of it, and then we'll be going Chainlink 2 Rotary. So we're going to try and get all of that information as possible.
It's just difficult here for me to get to Albaz in time, is the problem, because when there's Rico Mix, I cannot fuse with Albaz yet, because those are just not, there's no fusion I can make with Rico Mix. And the problem is, as soon as the Trackmaker hits the board, you can always go search Cool Tune Synchro, chain Cool Tune Synchro to make Zalen to stop my Albaz from doing stuff. So it's really awkward for me to do anything with the Rindbrum here. I should have probably used the Rindbrum before the Harmonia, is probably the solution.
From Joshua's hand here, see if there's any interaction that Josh has. He might want to try and use it now, but it looks like we are going to be.
But this game I fumbled. I think this game I fumbled. They fumbled game 1, I fumbled game 2 a little bit.
At Joshua's hand being the Celtic Mystic, the Frodrolis Harmonia, and the Blackluster Soldier of Light and Darkness. So very, very good amount of information there, because Joshua has the normal summon in the Celtic Mystic. That in turn, if you can reveal a monster that mentions Light and Darkness, we're allowed to draw 3 cards and discard 2. But once it becomes such a simplified kind of position, we might see Leonardo set up a very powerful field that Joshua will have a bit of trouble fully pulling apart.
I mean, right now I think that the correct place to go for Loudness War, in order to find a way to play around the Harmonia.
Ooh, Pot of Sloth and Skull Archfiend of Chaos. Now, I don't think I would want to be giving my opponent the Pot of Sloth right now.
Yeah, and he directly puts Skull Archfiend in the top of the deck, and with Zalen, RS, and a Loudness War, I don't see a way how Josh can manipulate.
I mean, yeah, and now as soon as the Loudness War hits the board, I can't really use my Rindbrum well.
That Skull Archfiend of Chaos. There's still the Skull Archfiend of Chaos in the graveyard. I believe there is still a Light and Darkness ritual in the graveyard as well. So there's a little bit of resource that can enter the field, but nothing that is going to threaten Leonardo at this particular point. We're going to keep it very, very simple. Set into Joshua, just double checking his graveyard if there is anything we need to activate or resolve. And I believe it would be, so the Fallen Virtues was Rindbrum this time.
Yeah, no, send an Ecclesia.
The Ecclesia, yeah, thank you. So just double checking if there's anything to resolve in. Okay, so it does look like we're going to try and use the Rotary effect. Okay, so now we're going to use the effect to take care of the graveyard. So I believe we're trying to use the Rindbrum effect during our opponent's turn to bring back the Fallen of the White Dragon, which is always treated as Fallen of the.
Did you pull all of your pots and overframes? I pulled the overframe Starlight Dark Magician of Chaos.
I mean, it's
And the Pharah. But the Pharah is only ultra rare.
Yeah. So returning the Fall on the White Dragon back to the dead. The Rindbrum
Getting banned because, yeah, I was thinking about it resolve as much as it can. So it has to ban itself. And Fallen of the White will be returned to the deck. And right now...
So it should be the Skull Archfiend of Chaos. Because I believe Rotary puts it to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, directly, so we don't shuffle, yeah.
And exactly this, we're going to see Leonardo utilize the Cool Tune remix as early as possible, probably trying to get access.
Yeah, I mean, Evenly is good against this deck. Even though that game I probably should have still won if I didn't mess it up.
Or it was Ghost Ogre.
I think it might have been Ghost Ogre.
Yeah. This is what I recall also. So you have a loudness word to play around the Harmonia, and you just need a way to deal with the Celtic Mythic with the example of, for example, RS right here. And we need to remember that only 12 minutes are on the clock.
Yeah, the timer made me nervous in this round because, like, I thought I was going to win game 2, and then I fumbled it, and then I wasn't winning game 2 anymore. And then we only had, like, whatever, how much time we had left for game 3, but it made me a little nervous.
And activate the effect to add.
Did you ever search Pharah with the Sword Soul? Yeah, I mean, that was the plan.
Probably to go...
That was the whole idea, was to search the Pharah with the Sword Soul. So I did that a couple times, yeah. I'm not sure if I would play Pharah again, though, to be honest. Like, Pharah was only fine. It only really matters when you open Albaz and Rolad, like both engines, and then it's just a little cherry on top, but it doesn't come up that much.
I would debate to go for the game 3, to be honest.
We're trying to use the Harmonia here. I can't see the exact amount of monsters.
Did you ever do the Pharah reveal mind shuffle? Once. I did it once, yeah.
Moves up to 5, which will get us access to the Harmonia summon and...
Pharah is overhyped. I don't even think Pharah is hype. Pharah is just a solid card, and everyone knows it's a solid card. Like, Pharah is completely fine. Pharah is a good card that sometimes is gonna see play, but not always. It's just okay. It's nothing crazy, but it's a good card.
Yeah, so we're just looking through, searching out the spell card. Looks like we're going to be grabbing a Cool Tune Synchro, which makes a lot of sense here, because then at least with the Track Maker, if we wanted to, and we did use it to...
Most people on Branded have told me they're cutting Pharah. Yeah, because it's not actually that good in Branded, particularly, because, like, Branded doesn't fuse with spells much anymore. And Pharah only triggers if it gets sent to grave by a spell trap effect. So yeah, it's not great in Brand. I mean, you can send it for High Spirits, or you can send it for opening, but... yeah.
It's not in the graveyard, it doesn't gain the effect that it is unaffected. And we will activate Purge with a trap in the graveyard to counter the Celtic Mythic.
Yeah, which is ultimately going to negate and destroy that one there. I still don't believe there is any tuners in Joshua's graveyard, so until we get that JJ Cool Tune onto the field, and even then when we do, the Loudness War is not going to have any attack stats, so it is just purely going to be a defensive, interactive monster right now. But Joshua currently contemplating what else we can do, and that is it, going to be going into game 3. I think that's definitely the right approach. With 10 minutes left on the clock, by the time you've kind of conducted your side-in patterns...
Yeah, so that's probably a game I should have won, but I messed it up.
And I want to see, with 8 minutes left, if I was Joshua, I would let him go first, to be honest, because I would need to utilize every second I had in order to steal the game. But if I can understand, he chose to go first with a Griffo.
Yeah, some very, very premium cards in Leonardo's hand right now. And that is one of them being the Psy-Frame Gear Gamma, instantly negating that Griffo, which stops Joshua ultimately trying to get access to that Mind Shuffle, definitely getting access to that going first. And for Leonardo, even the better thing is that the Psy-Frame Driver was not in the opening hand.
Yeah, it is one of those few moments that we see Gamma Driver not in the hand in the stream, right?
Yeah. But Joshua says, no, I don't even mind about Griffo. I'm going to use my ace card right now and use Black Chaos to activate Mind Shuffle directly onto the field. Is there going to be another interaction from Leonardo? And it does look like we're going to get that with the Dominus Purge, stopping the surge of Mind Shuffle straight away. Trading off back and back. Wow. Okay, back and forth.
Dude, when I opened Grifo, Black Chaos, Nadir Servant, I was like, okay, at least I'm playing the game. And then I was like, nope, you're not. No, you're not.
One that will possibly be drawn for turn. How much resource can Joshua maintain, and will Leonardo see a starter or a Cool Tune monster from the top of that deck? Mind Shuffle being utilized as early as possible. No response from Leonardo yet, which would probably indicate no Ash Blossom, no Ghost Ogre. That we know that might get saved for the ability to shuffle the monsters, shall we speak, on that one. Let's see what we have here from Leonardo starting his turn.
It all depends if he has find a starter, because I believe in the form of the Q.
If you could
Yeah, I think he opened 5 hand traps. I think it was Veiler, Imperm, Purge, Bell, Gamma, and then Q for turn.
So that is one of the ones that you do want to see.
Brother.
Response here from Joshua. We still need to get a monster of level 7 or higher onto the field. We've already seen that Harmonia is in the deck list. That could make an appearance here. But no, the Q is going to resolve. And I think at this point here, if you wanted to maximize the Harmonia, you might want to try and clear both of those monsters off the field before it snowballs much further.
And
there it is.
You will find the mix, and we will activate, as you mentioned, the Harmonia, right?
Yep, so Fredrole's Harmonia being activated here, this is definitely one of the best places to do that, as yes, the mix will resolve, but you get both of the monsters off the field. More times than not, you're probably going to get access to the Rotary. It's going to be interesting to see what Synchro was sent, if any. There we go, Malong, as I would expect. So the Malong is then going to, after we have resolved this chain, start a new chain itself, possibly targeting that mix to add it back to the hand. And as expected, we are going to be grabbing that Cool Tune Rotary, which will give us an additional normal summon. But is Joshua going to be able to stop whatever monster enters the field of play off a Rotary? And that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to use Mind Shuffle, returning the Harmonia. Fredrole's getting black.
Okay, I have a question. Am I the only one who always summons the BLS in the right and the Demok on the left because of where they point with their thing? Because I did that all weekend. It was always BLS goes to the right, Demok goes to the left because of where they point. I don't know if it's just me,
Soldier of Light and Darkness, which
but I feel like that's how it's got to be.
That enters the field of play, being the Rotary, and that is going to clear it off. Is there any more pushes from Leonardo? There isn't.
And when I ever had the second one, I would make them like next to each other. It's in the rules, actually. Okay. Yeah, good.
Straight over to Josh.
And we have 4 minutes left on the clock, because we need
I mean, here's the thing is, like, at this point, I know this game is completely won. I just need to, like, worry about the timer, because I need to finish it this turn, probably. So I do have a way, but I just need to find it.
In order to try to push for game, and he just needs to understand that with clear moves, he can definitely go for game this turn.
Yeah. Utilizing
a better way with Celtic Mystic to be summoned. We will activate the Infinite Permanence.
In the column of Mind Shuffle, so this will force Joshua to try and use the Mind Shuffle to either search or shuffle if he wishes to, and we're going to just use a second Mind Shuffle. Wow, okay.
Why to bother?
Yeah, why even chain the first one? So the Celtic Mystic, I don't believe we revealed anything in our hand in order to get the draws and discards, but that still gets a monster onto the field of play with a little bit of attack stats. Remember that the Blacklist Soldier also needs to destroy to get a second attack as well.
And I mean, at this time, Josh right now knows that Leonardo has 1 mix in his hand because it was revealed through the effect of Rotary, and he just needs to respect 1 unknown.
Oh no! I put the Chaos in the wrong zone because I blocked the other one. Oh, my bad.
We can go with...
I'm under time pressure. Cut me some slack.
Gain access to the... We will activate the effect Veiler with a... moves and having way too fast. Veiler was activated to Magician of Chaos.
Cut me some slack. It was only there for a second.
Activate the ritual spell in order to summon eventually the Magician of Black Chaos once again.
Yeah, and then we're getting so bad. And there's the handshake there. Wow, oh wow.
Stressful game, dude. Yeah, that was a stressful feature, but it was a good game.